all, welcome to the next video on Moore machines. They are similar to Mealy machines, Mealy machines or Mir and Mealy machines or finite automata which will produce output, whereas DFA and NFA will not produce an output. So let's move on to the tuple notation. Tuple notation, here it is 6 tuples where Q represents the set of states, all the states involved in the model. So Q0, Q1 are the states, and sigma is the set of input symbols where here it is 1 and 0. So they accept an input and they move on to the next state. And the symbol triangle, it represents the set of output symbols used in the model. So here A and B are the output symbols which are used in the model. And del is the transition function which is Q, that is current state, just like what we have seen for the other models. It is transition symbol. So it is current state when it is getting an input, what will be the next state. And lambda is the output function which defines the output. So here the output, it depends on the current state only. Okay, and q naught is the initial or start state. Here you don't have any terminal state at all because it is going to produce an output. There is no need for a terminal or final state. So this is the sample model, sample Moore machine model. Here you can see along with the state, you are representing the output symbol also. So Q naught, upon receiving the input 1, it is producing an output A. And Q naught, upon receiving the input 0, it is moving to the next state Q1 and it is producing an output B. And Q1, on receiving the input 1, it is moving to Q0 and it is producing the output A. Q1, on receiving 0, it is moving to the same state, producing an output B. Now let us check what will how a string is accepted by this model. So here, now let us check for the input. Example, let's take 1 0 1 0. So initially it is in state Q0. So it will produce, before accepting any input, it will produce an output A because it is already residing in Q0. It will produce an output A, and upon receiving the first input, it will move on to Q0 itself because on receiving input 1, it will move on to Q0 itself and it will produce an output A. So the next input is 0. So it will receive 0 and it will move on to Q1 with an output B. So after that, it will take the next input 1 and it will move on to the next state Q0 and it will produce an output A. After that, the next input symbol is 0. So receiving 0, it will move on to Q1 and it will produce an output B. So here you can notice that the number of input symbol is 4 and the number of outputs which we got is 5. Okay, so now here n input is equal to n plus 1 output, whereas in Mealy machine n input is equal to n output. So this is the difference between Mir and Mealy machines. We'll see how to construct more machines in the next video. Thank you, students.